Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub. Again, that is a dub. And I'm going to be real honest with you guys. I have told you the truth when I said I don't really care as much about the results of the games at this point. I don't care as much, right? As much. But by the time we got to the Clinching boarding call, which we will talk about, I needed this win like I need air. I had to have it. And the hockey gods blessed us. They did. They blessed us. We deserved that win. We're going to go over reasons we deserved that win. But there was some real bullshit in this one. And we still came out on top. Because that's who we are. We are a top. It does feel like every time we play the Penguins, there is some bullshit involved. But hey, at least this time DeBrusk didn't break his leg, I think. Anyway, the Penguins are, out of our remaining schedule, the team that needs the points the most. By far. Everyone else we play is either in a playoff spot or soundly outside of a playoff spot and doesn't really need the points the way the Penguins do just to stay in the picture. They were coming into this game with a 1-point lead for the second wildcard spot and 1 game in hand. Obviously, that game in hand is now off. It is funny that every time we have played a team that is either in the second wildcard spot or trying to get there over the past month, we have won that game. I don't know if it's the team just goes like, if we're meeting you in the first round, we're going to prove a point, or if, I don't know, maybe we're just a better team. That can't be it. That can't be it. The Penguins, 17th and 18th in goals for and goals allowed in that order. They are dealing with injuries to Nick Bonino, Kulikov, Peterson, and Ruta. On our end, Swayman is going to get the start, our backup goalie, for those of you who forgot. He doesn't have the best game of his life, but we didn't do him too many favors anyway. Bergeron is resting due to nagging injuries, both upper and lower body injuries. You don't love that, but you do love that we get to let him rest. Zacha is going to go on the top line. He looked really good, 3 assists. Bertuzzi takes his spot on the second left wing. Greer takes his spot on the third left wing. Grizz is back in, and he bumps Zaboral out at the third left defensive spot. Orlov stays with McAvoy. I really am biased when we play the Pens. I just want you to know this. I pride myself on not being too emotional and not being super biased. Like, I know everyone has a little bias, but not being super biased. When we play the Penguins, I don't know. What you might hear might be pretty dang biased. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Puck drops! And we're going to get started. 4:20 in. Ruedel is going to go for roughing. Bad boy. We're going to the power play. And the power play, actually, the first minute looks bad, but then it starts setting up, and it's kind of schmoving. It actually kind of looks kind of good. I don't want to get ahead of it. It kind of looks okay. First minute looks terrible, but after that, it kind of looks okay. But we start setting up. We move it high to low, which is something I needed to see more of because we just stayed on the blue line so much. But we're going down to Bertuzzi, who's directly next to Jari on that left side. And he immediately is going to bump it forward to Zacha coming into the slot. It gets deflected. Zacha basically has a dive to get there to make a play on it and flings it directly across to McAvoy, who has a wide open net because Jari had already committed to Zacha shooting. It's 1-0. Early in the game. That was actually 1 second left of the power play when that hit Twine. So it does count as a power play goal. 1-0. And then just over a minute later, terrible defending. Puck gets bounced over to our blue line, and Crosby is just going to handle this puck into McAvoy's chest. I mean, they are inches apart, and Crosby might as well be in a phone booth just dancing with that thing. Cuts to the right. Orlov now has to take over, but McAvoy is still focused on Crosby, which allows a lane to open up for Russ to go right behind McAvoy, and from Crosby's backhand, flings it through the legs of both the defenders to Russ, who's in alone on Swayman and goes high glove, and it's 1-1. Just like that. First shot of the game for them. You don't love to see it. 5:25 left of the period. Joseph is going to go for a delay of game for clearing the zone over the glass power play, no dice. 2:45 left. Krejci is going to go for hooking. It was a perfect stick lift. All stick. It was a gorgeous defensive play that he got punished for. But we kill it off because our penalty kill is like that. With 3.9 seconds left of the period after Gensel gets stoned on a breakaway, Marchand's going to get tripped up by Malkin. We're going to start the next period with 1 minute and 57 seconds of the power play. Again, through the first minute or so, it's not great. It looks like it's going to be another, or not another wasted power play. We had already scored on one, but it doesn't look like it's going to be an effective one. The Penguins go for a clearance, and they have the chance to, and I think it's Ruedel again, and he skies it, but it gets to the blue line. It's just low enough for Orlov to jump up, grab it, and put it down. Puts it on his backhand as he's skating along the blue line. I love this thought process. He goes, I don't have shit to do with this. It's on my backhand, so the pass is not going to be as accurate as I want it to be. Let me just send it to the net. And he does. He whaps this thing towards the net. It's going wide glove side, and Pastrnak somehow gets a tip on it while moving. Gets a tip on it. Perfectly goes 5-hole. It's 2-1 on another power play goal. We scored on 2 out of 3. We had 3 power plays. We scored twice. That's crazy to me, and hopefully that kind of stuff continues. 8 minutes left. It's a weird bounce that gets Gensel in alone. Swayman stops at blocker side, kicks it out, and then Rust is there for the follow-up, who goes glove side. Swayman makes a save once again. And then a 2-on-1 for Pitt directly after this play as Archibald comes down the left side, goes high glove, and Swayman again beats the shooter. I'm not saying Swayman was bad this game. The final numbers aren't what you want, but he made some really great saves too. He really did. And when I say we didn't do him any favors, it's plays like that over and over again. He had breakaways and 2-on-1s that he had to stop, and he stopped a very good portion of them. 4:35 left of the period. DeBrusque for high sticking, penalty kill. 45 seconds left of that penalty kill. Carlo puts his stick into the back of Crosby, and Crosby literally dives. I mean, this is a play that happens so often, but I'm biased. I feel like every time you touch Crosby, you get called for something. Every time. I'm biased. I don't know. Anyway, we have 45 seconds of a 5v3 to kill, which we do. And then another $1.15 of a 5v4 to kill, which we do, because our penalty kill is immaculate. Third period's going to start up, and 4:19 in, Pasta from the slot goes bar and out and back the other way. It's a 2-on-1, and Rust from the right side of our zone is going to throw this in on Swayman. The initial save is made, but he's not able to hold on to it as much as he'd like. It bounces in front of him, and McAvoy, who was sliding on his belly to prevent the pass across, ends up sliding right into Swayman, pushing him and the puck into the net. It is 2-2 early in the third. Here's the thing about the Penguins, if you've watched them at all this year. You never really have to lose confidence that you're going to win the game, because they can't hold on to a lead, and they can't finish games well. The third period has been terrible for them all year. So if we meet them in the playoffs, I'm really hoping for that to continue, because we've been such a good third period team, but they've been atrocious in the third period. So even though they tied it up here, I was like, whatever. And in this moment, I'm still like, if we lose this game, it's not the end of the world. I'm just not. I just want to stay healthy right now, because I just don't care as much about those records. I know some people disagree with me. 7:14 in, get in the offensive zone. We chuck it to Pasta on the right dot. This is just a nothing play, but off balance unleashes an absolute bullet that goes back bar and out so smoothly that the play continues. Everyone kind of sees it. This is a great breakout by Grizz, and it's his back that I'm looking at in the camera angle where he's like, that's a goal! That's a goal! Everyone's half-assing their play until the whistle's finally blown. The puck gets it on Jari. He covers it up. Whistle blown. It's 3-2 out of a gorgeous shot, and he's up to 2 goals. And you start to think. In 7:30 left, we're nursing this 1-goal lead. 7:30 left, Carlo chases down a dump-in, has the puck on the left side or the right side of our defensive zone, and has time. Instead of making any play that made sense, he decides to whip it around behind the net, off the wall, and back up to no one, not a single Bruin player there, but there is a Penguins player who picks it up, throws it across the crease. Luckily, nothing connects there, but it gets to the left wall where Dumoulin, I believe, is going to feed it. He's going to fake shot and then feed it into the slot for Rust, who hammers this and beats Swayman glove side. They're going to review this because as this play is developing, Crosby's in the blue paint, and he gets moved, like Carlo backs up to him. He's in the blue paint by his volition, by the way. He's the one who went there. Carlo is right there in front of him. And Crosby skates out of the blue paint, and while he's doing it, smacks Swayman in the face with his stick. and the puck goes past Swayman. And they review it for goaltender interference. Because, and I'm a big believer that goaltender interference isn't as confusing as a lot of people make it out to be, because most calls I get accurately at this point. And that is because I know what goaltender interference is. And that's it! You were in the blue paint, which is your first, that's goaltender interference for sure, basically right there. And then your stick hit the goalie in the face about a half second before the puck went by the goalie. And on top of that, the stick is still covering the eyes of Swayman as the puck flies by him. It's still there when the puck goes in the net, which would be the Sean Avery rule on its own. What are we doing? Oh, by my reaction, you could probably guess. They allowed the goal, so now we have to go to a penalty kill for delay of game, which we kill it because our penalty kill is fucking immaculate. But that was a disgusting display of you're reviewing it, and that's a textbook interference call. That was bonkers to me. And then with 4:45 left, Archibald skating up the right wall in our zone, does a drop pass, shrinks and turns, and gets Krejci right through him. He dips his head and spins into Krejci and gets hit, and they call boarding. Krejci's following through. That's a play that happens 1,000 times a game. But you know what was the deciding factor? Because the arm didn't go up right away. It was Archibald lying on the ice, curled up. Doesn't miss a second of the game, by the way. A, it's a dive. B, yeah, he does make a little bit of connection with the head. He does. Do you know why? Because Archibald ducked and turned directly into the fucking shoulder. I couldn't believe the call. I couldn't believe it stood. Unbelievable. It's 3-3 at this time because of a goal that shouldn't have been allowed. And now we're going on a penalty kill again off of a blatant I did it to myself moment. So we're going to the penalty kill. And we kill it because our penalty kill is amazing. And we're going to move on. And with 2 minutes and 26 seconds left of this game, the hockey gods laughed and laughed and laughed. Because we get in the zone and the puck goes off a ref, allowing us to keep it. And Zacha is battling in the right corner. He's going to win that battle to get it to Krejci on the right dot, who perfectly sends this in one touch over to Pasternak in the middle of the slot, who hammers this past Jari. It is 4-3, Pasta hat trick, 56 goals for Pasta. Get fucked. Get fucked. That is a game that has been poorly refereed in the third period, directly against us. Do I think it's intentional? No. Do I think the league's trying to get Crosby into the playoffs? Probably, but I'm going to say no. I don't think the refs were trying to rig the game. I think they had some incompetent fucking moments, which happens. But my God, if we had lost that game after that shit, and if we had won, I don't know, the last 5 games or 4 games of the season, out of the last 6 or whatever it was, to tie the record, and that had been cost us that game. Like if we had gotten close to the record and missed it out by 1 game, and this was because of this, I would have been furious. Would have been furious. You're playing most of your guys. Bergeron's the only one sitting. Like, yes, you still expect to lose a game where you're sitting your 1C, but you put yourself through the danger of losing more people because you're not resting a bunch. Not yet, at least. And you expect to win that game. And the refs almost cost you that game. Because those were bad calls. Those were legitimately bad calls. Do I think they were intentional? No. But they were bad calls. Do you know what's not a bad call? 58 seconds left. Pasta's going to go for high sticking. It's absolutely a high sticking, no matter how much he did not agree with it. And we kill it. Because our penalty kill is fucking amazing. And we win this game. 4-3. That's a dub. Game notes. Penalty kill went 6 for 6. We need that to continue, obviously, through the rest of the season. But I am very proud of our penalty kill in this one. Fantastic effort by them. 56 goals by Pasta. McDavid's at 61, so that's probably not happening. But that is the 5th highest goal-scoring season in franchise history. The other 4 were by Phil Esposito. He owns the second, as far as players go, He's second in the highest scoring season, goal scoring season. That's pretty cool for a franchise that stood for 100 years. That's pretty friggin' neat. 123 points is the highest point total in franchise history for standings points. So those are both great things. Freddie has not looked the same, and I'm a little worried about him. I'm not really ready to like jump all over him, but he hasn't been able to possess the puck like you'd want when working with Coyle. He hasn't been driving play like he was for a couple months there. It's a bottom six guy. They go through ups and downs. That's how the bottom six works, but I'd like to see a little more consistency from him. Zaka. I mean, he's not a 1C. I see a lot of people talking about that. He's our 1C next year. I hope that's not true because I don't think he's a high-end 1C. But I do think he's starting to look like a high-end 2C, and that's awesome. That fills a need for us in the biggest way. So that's pretty exciting if he can maintain that. So all in all, great game, great dub. I'm a little tapped out on energy because I got so mad during that game. That was an atrocity towards the end, but we overcame it. But we'll move on. Tomorrow, St. Louis. Hopefully we can get another big win there, and we'll see how she goes, right? Go Bees. Go Bees!